We're live on ESPN 1700. Oh, joining us in studio, Michelle Weinstein, FITzeeFoods. What we got? What do you know?
I'm good, man.
Are you good now?
I was bobbing my
you
head.
Good now?
Yeah.
All right. The lot goes on during a commercial break.
I can
Michelle's
see that.
taking calls. She's doing
closing
business.
deals.
Me and Heather are taking selfies. We got this under
All
control
right.
in here. We're good. All right. So let's get to FITzeeFoods. In terms of being prepared, we talked about it, rearranging priorities in terms of what you really want your lifestyle to be. And like you said in the first segment, eliminating just that one meal a day might be all you need to start making that transition. So, so how is FITzeeFoods different than other meal prep companies or delivery services that are out there right now?
Well, there's a lot of ways we're different. I believe that not every person should eat the same size portion. So we have different portion sizes for lots of different people. We have small size portions that are anywhere from about 200 to 300 calories. A lot of the ladies like that.
I'm glad you didn't point at me when you said the small size.
No, I said for me.
Those are for you, buddy.
I see you. You already tried to hand me an extra medium
cute.
shirt, little baby shirt.
I did. I gave Anthony the wrong size shirt.
A female medium.
Or was it the right size?
What was it?
So a lot of, like you guys, you're getting the medium sized meals because
Which are a perfect portion.
They're a perfect portion, but they're not for women. So, when you go out to eat and everyone eats the same size meal, that's a problem.
Right.
Right? That's how we have all the people in the gym going the wrong direction. You think you started to work out and now they're getting larger.
Right.
I talk about that with my wife all the time. Gracie, I go, babe, we can't eat the same. I go,
No.
You need to eat less and I need to eat more. So you leave some on your plate and I got to eat it because it's got to be that spread.
So that's something that we're definitely unique with Fitzy. And then we have a large size portion that are great for couples to split. But you would definitely need to eat a little bit more of that portion than your lady. Or if it's two guys, we have extra large portions that would give them two basically medium sizes. So for all the guys that want to share meals,
one fork.
One fork.
Yes. Save plastic.
We also pride ourselves in quality and service. So when it comes to customer service, I actually have a background from Nordstrom. So we're like the Nordstroms of food. If you want good service, you come to FITzeeFoods.
I agree.
And you don't get that anywhere anymore. You go out to eat, you go buy all these services online, and the box shows up, and then that's kind of it. You don't hear from anybody.
Right.
So we're not a bunch of robots. We're actually humans that are helping people.
Yeah, I think one of the difference that I definitely see that from the meals, not only just the quality, I think the portions are definitely dialed in for what I need to be eating a day. But more importantly, it doesn't look like it's made in some sort of cafeteria where stuff's just kind of scooped and thrown into a plastic container. Like, it actually looks like mom made it at home.
Yeah, we make healthier versions of American comfort food that your mom or your grandma would make for you.
There you go.
So
that's your new
sales
pitch.
Do you ever go to Cheesecake Factory?
Yeah.
Yes.
So our menu is like a Cheesecake Factory, but good for you.
Yeah.
Mac and cheese,
I
pizza
think that's
pasta, sloppy Joe Orzo. We have the other meals. So I know you guys like to work out a lot and do fitness type competitions.
Right.
We have meals for that too. But I'm not doing that right now. So I want sloppy Joe Orzo and I want mac and cheese, but I just want ones with more protein. So most of our meals have anywhere from 30 to 45% protein of the total calories of the meal.
One of the things I also noticed was the quality of the, whether it's the greens. I just had the steak for the first time just before we went on air.
It's all grass-fed steak.
I was going to ask you, it was like super tender. Loved it. I was going to ask you what kind of steak that was, but yeah, definitely the quality of the ingredients used for every meal is definitely I'm seeing a huge difference.
I love
in general.
I love the description. Fitzy's is like the Lamborghini of TV dinners. So like in terms of the packaging, you can see you can see how that, but then you get into it and it's just another whole ballgame altogether.
Well, have you guys bought, the frozen meals in the frozen section before, like Lean Cuisine or Amy's?
No, Oscar has not.
No.
Never. 1994.
Well, yeah, back
I never
in
have.
Really?
No,
I don't know if I have.
We use the same packaging technology as any of those meals, and it makes the food last a little bit longer. So it's like high-end Tupperware.
Got it.
But for people, they think it's a TV dinner, right? So we're like the Lamborghini version.
No, it's great. And then in terms of like labeling too, your guys' labeling is a little different. You definitely have more content there. It's not just a sticker that says FITzeeFoods. It's actually telling you what's in there.
No, we do a full nutrition panel. Yeah, so every single meal comes with a full nutrition panel, full ingredient statement. We list on there if the meal's dairy-free, gluten-free, paleo-friendly, low-carb, and it has a barcode, because we also have some retail stores for everyone in San Diego. You can come to our store downtown or in Point Loma and buy, as if you were going to go to 7-Eleven and just pop in. Except we have every choice is good for you. You can't make a bad choice when you walk into Fitzy. When you go to 7-Eleven, you can make a lot of bad choices. Cheetos, Snickers, ice cream.
The funny thing is, I say that about Nordstrom's.
You make bad decisions there too?
No, I know that I can go to Nordstrom's and I will find what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Right? Same thing with FITzeeFoods. You go to FITzeeFoods, you're going to find what you're looking for. It's going to be there if you're looking for something healthy.
Yes.
And
if you're not, we have a version of the meal that will surprise you. Because we've been told time and time again, some people, like we work with a lot of pro athletes, NFL guys, they're like big kids. And, they want mac and cheese and pastas and other things. And they're surprised that, healthy has a bad rap. People think it tastes like chalk, cardboard, dirt. It's going to be disgusting. But our meals are very flavorful with a lot of great taste, and they're healthy. So
one other thing that I found was the ability to freeze them, and I don't think that's the case. Is that the packaging, or how does that work in terms of the ability to freeze your guys' meals? And I think that it said up to 3 months. Is that right?
Yeah, you can freeze them 2 to 3 months. It just depends on how much condensation's in there before you put in the freezer, right? Because it will just turn to ice. But every meal except the salads and wraps you can freeze. So if you don't eat it in time, you don't have any food waste. When you make your own food and you go to the grocery store and then you come home and you make this meal and then you're going to eat the same thing over and over again, and then some of it you just don't want to eat anymore because you're so sick of it, and then it goes in the trash can.
I know that. Oscar eats everything, so he doesn't.
Oh, he's a human garbage can.
Yeah, there's nothing that...
Put it in front of me.
It'll go down. But I feel you. That's how I
most
grew up.
people waste 10-20% of what they're buying at the grocery store. So if you're spending $100 a week at the grocery store, you're definitely probably throwing away about $20 worth of food, let alone the time it took you to make it and everything else that goes
And
along
I think
with
the
it.
other side of it, too, is that people tend to think that eating healthy is expensive. And when you sit back and do the numbers, it's not, especially if you're one that's eating out. I think eating out
is more expensive.
Eating out is more expensive. Eating out healthy, or quote-unquote what is portrayed to be healthy, is definitely a lot more expensive.
Yeah, it's another level altogether.
Yeah, like my favorite meal at True Food Kitchen. Have you guys been there?
Yeah. Yes. We only have one meal. We only have one meal.
I eat the bison burger.
Yeah, that's our meal.
Me too.
We love you.
It's $18.
Yeah.
The Fitzy version of the same burger for you guys would be $12.
Yeah.
And I know that's grass fed. And the tip, yeah. To get a burger by yourself, it's $20.
Yeah.
And, they're making it flavorful.
Right.
So they're adding probably more salt than we do, more oil. Right. The 3 things you get addicted to are sugar, fats, and salts.
I definitely seen a need too. I mean, when you mention athletes, I think the other need to wanting to eat healthy, and more importantly, the conveniency of it and having that accessible to people, is that business professional. And I think people right around our age were either they were athletes before and looking to get back into shape, or realizing that they've been making the wrong decisions and want to maybe make a difference for their kids as well. I think this is what's great about FITzeeFoods, right?
It is. I actually met with one of the high schools. I can't remember which one last week. For their wrestling team, football team, all their teams, because the parents, they don't, the kids go to school and then they go to practice, and it needs to change earlier on.
Yeah, early on.
A lot of the talent, you can have the gifted athletic talent, but what's going to set you apart is what you eat. And that's how, a lot of the teams buy from us, and then a lot of the athletes individually purchase from us too, because they know they're going to have less injuries as well.
In terms of the ordering process, how does that look? What options do people have? I know you mentioned a storefront and online, but how do they do that?
Well, if you're in San Diego, you can order online and pick up at any of our pickup locations. It's FITzeeFoods.com. When you go online, it's going to ask you to type in your name, your email, and your zip code. And the reason why is we actually ship nationwide. So we need that information before we can even show you the menu, so we can show you your delivery options. So San Diego, you can do any of the options. Go to our stores, order online for pickup locally, or get it shipped to your doorstep. For anyone in LA to New York to Hawaii, we ship to Hawaii a few times, Alaska. You just go online, and then depending on the day, we can either get it out to you the next day or within about 2 to 3 days.
Wow.
So it's a quick turnaround depending on the day you go on the website.
Makes sense.
Do you have a favorite meal on your guys'?
I love our beef burger with sautéed mushrooms on top and sweet potato fries.
Sounds like that's next on the menu for sure. That sounds amazing.
Maybe in December, January, put it back on the
Yeah.
menu. We have too many popular things like.
And that's what I was going to say too. In terms of your guys' menu, it's unique in terms of it's switching out every month or every 2 weeks still.
Every 4 weeks.
Okay, every 4
Yeah.
weeks. Yeah. What stays on the menu? How do you gauge it? Just based on sales or people's
Sales and
how
what
it's gonna-
people are asking for,
Makes sense.
and then what we see that we projected for sales that aren't selling as much. So, for example, this month we took off our red chicken enchiladas, which we haven't done in 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's creating more demand for it again, so people want it back.
That's what someone asked on my Instagram post is like their chicken enchilada is awesome. And I'm like, oh cool.
Yeah, we're like
Awesome. Get
we
it back
sell what's McDonald's tagline, like 40 billion burgers. We
Yes.
sell 40 billion red chicken enchiladas.
Wow,
Let's get us some enchiladas from.
that's my favorite dish actually. Chicken enchiladas.
I don't see us in it.
Yeah, that's
You
my
get
number
that
one
down.
dish, man. Because
Like-
you can make it like so many different ways, but it's my number one
Heather's
dish for
taking
sure.
notes. Yeah, I see you.
You hear me, baby?
I know it's Mexican,
All right.
but I
Yeah, she'll have that for you
She
by
had,
the time
she
you
had,
get home. That
she had
was-
mole this weekend with my parents.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Yeah, we're
yum.
going with some mole.
Right on. So, in terms of how many meals are on the menu at one time, do you keep it kind of a condensed version of it just so?
We
No.
do.
Okay.
Yeah. A couple years ago, we had a lot more variety, but it was almost too much. You know, when you go places and there's just like too many choices?
Mhm.
So we've learned that with reducing the amount of choices, you get to eat your favorites more often. And then when they go away, you're going to want them back faster.
Yeah.
So we don't have as many options, but we have 25 to 30 different things you can choose from on
Which
a
is
monthly
more
basis.
than enough, yeah.
It's a lot.
And it varies from meals to breakfast to snacks, like you were mentioning bars too. So kind of
Yeah,
give
we
us a
have
rundown.
bars, cookies, nutsos, which are crushed nuts with protein powder, salads, our buffalo chicken wrap. We've kept on the menu for about 6 months now because it's so popular and every other wrap doesn't sell as well as that one.
Yeah, so I'm halfway done.
I had that bad boy
That's
already.
good, huh?
Oh, yeah. It's good.
But we're always looking for new ideas. So, if you and all the listeners want to give me an idea, we might put it on the menu.
Awesome.
You know what I think is great too? I think it's important, from two sides of it, from as far as maintaining. One, I think there's more than enough options, but yet I've seen other companies where I think it can be overwhelming,
Yeah.
especially for that person getting started, not understanding. One, it can get overwhelming, but two, more importantly, I think when you narrow that down to something that you know that the consumer is asking for, you can also deliver more quality because you're more focused on certain items, or they could be seasonal too, right? In certain times of the year, we're
Yeah, we
craving
have
certain
pumpkin
things.
pancakes right now.
Well, there you go.
Why didn't you bring one of
There's
those
like
in the bag,
pumpkin everything right now.
Yeah.
Have you had the pumpkin quest bar?
No.
No,
We
I
saw
haven't.
pumpkin.
Oh,
I'm
it's
surprised I
delicious.
haven't.
Is it?
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
not a big pumpkin
Do you have
guy.
one?
Are you a
I had
pumpkin
it when
guy?
it was cold. It was
Yeah.
very good.
Yeah. Have you ever turned those?
I'm a big pumpkin pie guy, but I gotta have a little coffee with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's get the coffee.
Yeah.
All right, great stuff. We'll be back with Michelle FITzeeFoods right after the break. You've been listening to the Core Hour Live on ESPN. We'll be back. I'm not a pumpkin guy. You're a pumpkin